What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I am 28 Night. Today's video will be about the my review on The Last of Us. I won't go into great details because I'm pretty sure most of y'all have already played this game, and because it's pretty old. It came out in like 2014 or something like that. I think it was 2014. Could be wrong. Could be a little bit later. But it's pretty old. So basically, the reason why I played this game was for 20th birthday, because I have been doing things on YouTube for about a year, and you know, the reason why I started doing a YouTube thing was because of COVID, and we basically had to stay home and everything else, and all you're hearing about COVID, and other politics and everything like that. I was kind of like, you know what? Let me just go out here, do something fun, and play video games, and maybe somebody will watch it, and you know, it would make them happy. I think the first thing I did was actually did a pay by number video, and then I started playing video games. I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do with this channel. I just wanted to do something fun and just have people just be like, oh, you know, just forget about bull crap going on around the world in their lives or whatever. Well, 20 or 30 minutes of just me just messing around doing stupid shit. But enough of that. So that's why we're celebrating. That's what I was celebrating for. And so I wanted to do a game that I particularly like. There are a lot of games out there that I like, because I was thinking about either this game or what do you call it? Oh, GTA 5 story mode. But I was like, you know what, I could always do that at a later time, because I think people are still playing GTA 5. So I was like, I was like, and also I kept seeing, like, at the time, seeing like advertisements for The Last of Us, not the second one, but the first one. I'm like, well, you know what, I haven't played that game in a while, and I was like, you know what, I can play that game again. I actually like that game. It's one of my favorite games. So I'm like, yeah, let me just play it. But anyways, I'm rambling. So basically in the beginning of this story, you have Joel and Sarah, and they're talking on the couch. I think it's like Joel's birthday, right? Sarah ends up falling asleep on the couch, and then Joel puts her to bed, and then Sarah is awoken by a phone call from her uncle, which is Tommy, which is also what's her name's brother, Joel's brother, and you know, he felt frantic and stuff, and you know, she's like waking up, so she's groggy. She don't know what's going on. She goes and looks for her dad, and dad's not there. She goes downstairs and goes look for them. He's still not there. He ends up coming home, and you know, it's like, hey, have you seen like these neighbors and stuff like that? She's like, no, and everything. Ends up the neighbors are they turned into zombies. I guess there was like a breakout at a hospital or a lab. You know how zombie movies go. Come on, we already know how this is. But like, they end up Tommy ends up going to the house, and they end up getting in the car and trying to get away from all this and everything else. And pretty much they end up getting into a car crash. They have to run. They have to make a run for it, and they run short. And they had to split up for a second, and so basically, what had happened was, Joel and Ellie ended up, not Ellie, Joel and Sarah ended up going towards like a military, I guess border or whatever you want to call it, and pretty much the guy was, you know, ordered to kill them both, and you know, he tries to like block it, but it couldn't block it in time. It got her and got him. He lived, Sarah didn't. And then basically the game starts like 20 years later. I think it was 20 years later. So I don't know how old Joel was at the time. I'm guessing at this time he could be in his late 40s, maybe 50s. I have no idea. I mean, he's old. He's gray hair. I think he looks better old than he did when he was younger. But that's just my preference. But yeah, so I think he lives in like a restricted compound. He meets up with this girl named Tess, and they pretty much are looking for some guy named Robert who has sold weapons, and he ends up selling weapons to the Fireflies, and the Fireflies got the weapons, and they're like, okay, you want your weapons back? You gotta do me a favor. You gotta deliver this package. The package happens to be a girl named Ellie. Ellie is, I guess she's special because she got bit but didn't turn. They didn't find out until later on that they were going on their journey and stuff like that. Well, it ends up that Tess gets bit and she didn't turn to a zombie because at that time the militia people were like looking for them. Well, they're always looking for somebody, but yeah, and so she ends up dying like that. And the whole point of the game is basically you're trying to get Ellie to Boston. I don't remember where you start from. Clearly it ain't from Boston, and clearly Massachusetts, but you gotta go to Boston to go to this hospital to basically get Ellie there. So to see why she didn't turn when she got bitten. And you meet like people along the way, people that Joe knows, the people that they meet up new and stuff like that. And it is one of those difficult kind of games where it's kind of there's a lot of running and a lot of sneaking and a lot of around, because you have to do a lot of sneaking because like, okay, there's like 3 types of like zombies there. So there's like zombies, the regular zombies, where you can fight them one-on-one. I mean, it's hard, but you can't fight them. Clickers, you have to sneak attack them. There is just no other way. And then there's the bloaters. Bloaters like this, you have to take them head on. I don't think you can sneak attack them. I don't think it's possible. I never tried anyway. And so yeah. I think there might have been another one, but I think that is just in the other game because I played 2 parts of this game, but which I will talk about it on the same thing. So yeah, you end up getting bloated and everything like that. You finally, it's a journey. You gotta fight zombies, you gotta fight fake militia, you gotta just work your way around things and everything else. The game is still, I played the game before, but when I played it second time, I can't believe it still makes me iffy and jumpy. Especially when I know that something's going to happen or it's going to scare me, and I know it's going to scare me. I'm kind of prepared for it, but at the same time, I'm not really prepared for it, so it's kind of like, oh gosh. But yeah. Anyways, so you finally end up getting to the hospital. There's a part, I guess that there's a part where Joe accidentally stumbles on like Tommy's compound or his base or whatever. I guess they had like a falling out during that time, and during that whole time in the 20 years they had a falling out, but they ended up finding each other, accidentally finding each other and stuff like that, which is cool. And I think they made up. It looked like they made up. And at that time, Ellie found out that Joe had a daughter named Sarah, and everything else. And it was that one part where you kind of feel like maybe like Ellie was getting some kind of connection with Joe, and Joe was trying not to get a connection with Ellie because he was like, well, I already lost like a daughter that was about her age, so I didn't want to lose another one. I didn't want to get attached or whatever and have that father-daughter moment, whatever. But it ended up happening anyway. So Ellie pretty much was like, oh, Joe was gonna be like, hey, let Tommy take her to this hospital university thing that was nearby, not Boston but someplace. Oh, let her take her. I'm gonna go on my other way. And she was just upset about that because this is the only person besides maybe like the Fireflies and like other people that had been around her, and she ended up like getting upset, running away. They go find her, and she's basically like, hey, you know what, you're not my daughter, I'm not your father, blah blah blah. Right? I think he changed his mind after a while and said, okay, I'll take her. Ends up telling Tommy to go back to his wife and everything else. Ends up taking her, and this is a part of the game where it was like really like boring for me anyway. It was part where they're in the hospital, where they have the horse and they're in the university hospital situation. It was really this dull. I mean, I understand they have to, not every game, part of every game has to have that like uppity up factor all the time, 24/7. I get that. I get there needs to be a kind of like a low level moment, I guess you can call it, or whatever. But yeah, it was one of that moments, and ends up, you know, doing that. And there was the part where, you know, Joel gets injured, he falls off the balcony, and he like lands on like a little pipe thingy, and it was like put a hole in his stomach or his chest area or whatever. So basically at that point you become Ellie, and you're basically hunting. You have to hunt and stuff like that. You end up meeting up with this guy who finds you, and then you're like, I mean, Ellie's a pretty tough chick and everything like that, so she pretty much can handle her own with the weapons and stuff like that. But they end up, to the point that she kills the deer, and they're like, they're gonna get the deer, and she's like, well, they want the deer too and stuff like that. But they're being like, the guy's being real like polite with her and everything else, and she's like, well, basically give the deer for some medication, for some medicine for Joe, because remember, he's still injured. And ended up going back. Basically they end up, Ellie and this other guy, I forgot his name, but other guy, because there's two guys. The other guy goes and gets the medicine, the other guy stays. Ends up this fighting zombies. That was probably like the worst time I ever had in my life, fighting fucking zombies. I could not. I was getting my ass kicked in that part all the time. I had to edit so much stuff out, guys. You had no idea. But and then Ellie ends up going there, and then the guy comes back with the medication, and then basically lets them go, but ends up following Ellie anyway back to the location where, you know, her and Joe are. And so basically she's trying to do the right thing. She's like trying to like get them away from Joe. So she goes and gets on the horse and basically ends up trying to distract them and get caught, and she ends up getting caught by the guy that kidnapped. And that's when you become Joel again, and Joel goes looking for Ellie, and then you become Ellie again because Ellie escapes the guy over there at the who tried to kidnap her, and you're stuck in the snow, you can't see any goddamn thing, and then you become Joel again, then you become Ellie again, because now you're trying to escape the guy, because the guy is trying to, like, I don't want to say the word, I'll say grape and murder you, and you're trying to get away from him and everything else, and you end up killing the guy, and ends up Joel ends up like finding Ellie, and they had like this like a moment where it's like, oh, you know, blah blah, I'm gonna protect you now, some kind of moment. Like it was like that connection thing and everything else. So but yeah, it ends up being like that. So that was like one of like, I always got chills during that part, even like the second time I played that game. I don't know why, it's like, wow. Like, I'm glad he never got to do anything to her, the guy who was trying to do something to Ellie, but like, yeah. Anyway, so I think this is like towards the end of the game where you finally get to Boston, and you're, I think, as you know, Ellie can't swim, and Ellie ends up drowning in the water, and she ends up drowning. So you're trying to give her CPR, and there's like the fireflies, I guess, come out and tell you put your hands up. Tell them, Joe, put your hands up, and everything like that. Joe ends up waking up in the hospital, and oh my God, why are they all criminal? And Joe ends up ending in the hospital, and you know, she meets up the Mark guy, the lady that told Joe to take her to Boston, and Marlene or whatever her freaking name is, I forget. But you know, they're like, yeah, she got here, she's in the hospital, she's gonna be going to surgery, and they're like, surgery? And it's like, yeah, they need to, I guess they had to like kill her for surgery or something like that. I didn't really know what the whole deal was, but yeah, they were gonna put her in surgery. Joe was like, no, I don't want that to happen. And saying like, oh, you know, kick him out of the hospital. He does anything, you know, kill him, whatever. Joe ends up like, I mean, he's a fighter, he's a fighter and everything like that. Ends up fighting the guy, killing the guy, but not before the guy tells them where the operating room is. And basically, the whole thing was just to get to the operating room and to, you know, save Ellie. And I'm pretty sure there's like, you have to basically fight the military, whatever. But the firefights, I'm sorry. But I'm pretty sure there was like an easy way where you can just take her to, when you finally get to Ellie, you can just take her. I just killed everybody. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I didn't have to kill everybody, but I'm like, whatever. I'm just gonna kill everybody. I was being mean. Yeah, so then you end up escaping with Ellie, and Ellie kind of asks Joel, like, hey, you know, because Joel's like, well, there was a bunch of people like you there, and stuff like that, and trying to explain their and everything. And I'm like, dude, this is the part where in the game where I was kind of like, I don't know if he's telling the truth or not. Because, I mean, could there be? Well, I'm pretty sure there could be others, like, you know, Ellie, who was bitten and you were bitten and, you know, survived and didn't turn or anything like that. But you didn't see it, so it's kind of like, I don't know. And then he was like, she asked her, like, you know, because he was like, he asked her, like, if things that he said were true, and I was just like, and he's like, yeah, it's true. It wasn't like, he's like, I swear. And I'm like, I don't think he would lie, but you know, sometimes people lie just to protect others. So I don't know. It was just one of those things. I'm kind of like, to this day, I'm like, I don't know. But yeah, that was that, and they ended up off, and it ends up ending there. But yeah, that was that game. I'm gonna give that game, my review of that game, a 10 out of 10, because obviously I will play it again. I really like the storyline of that game. Some of the things I don't like the game with, like the movements and stuff like that, but that's just something that's just my personal preference and everything like that. I like the characters in the game. There is a little bit of like, I like games that kind of frustrate me, but not too much. I wasn't too frustrated with this game. And yeah, I would play it again. I did play it again. I'm actually playing it again like right now. I'm not recording it, but I'm playing it for fun. It's just one of those games like I not get enough of. But there's also another part to the game that I played, and I will add it onto this one with Left Behind. I was gonna make a separate video for that, but seeing as it was so short, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna throw it in this one. So basically, Left Behind is just a part of the game where, one, you see about Ellie and this girl named Riley, and there's also a part where you see what happened when Ellie was pretty much in charge and when Joel was injured, and she basically was based at the mall, and this other part of the game. Ellie and Riley were at the mall. So basically at the mall with two different situations, two different scenes. You know, basically it's like Ellie is pretty much mad at Riley for leaving because Riley left, and Riley is a chick that you hear about in the first part of the game, right toward the end, because she starts talking about her and everything else, and they're like basically best friends slash, you know, probably like in love with each other. I think Ellie was in love with her and everything else, but they basically have this adventure at the mall where they're just, you know, having fun. They're two teenagers or whatever, two girls in a mall, and and but then also at the mall there's another thing where you see Ellie in the present with Joel, and she's always at the mall. She's trying to find, like, you know, some kind of medication and some kind of stuff to like save Joel's life. It's really short. It's nothing like exciting in that game or anything like that. It's a good game to find out like what happened with Ellie and everything else, and how she pretty much got bit. That's what I talked about, bit, and how she had this friend named Riley and everything like that. Also tells you how like what was happening during that time where Joe was like out and Ellie was pretty much taking care of things at the, and you got to be Ellie again, of course, and they still had the horse. Oh, horse. But anyways, yeah, both these games are pretty good. They're great games. I suggest, you haven't played it yet, you should definitely go play it. You will not be disappointed. It's really good. As far as me playing the second game, maybe later on down the road, but not right now. But all in all, I'll give it both games 10 out of 10 together. I think you should play it. I really do. But let's see. So we're probably going down to see what we're going to do next game. Right now, I have no game like mentioned, or no game that I want to play right now. Right now, I just want to take a little bit of break between this game and Friendly Fire, which we got done just filming that. I don't know if you guys watched that yet. You should go see that. You should also go see The Last of Us. I kind of just want to take a little bit of break of recording and loading and everything else. I just want to just do that for a while. So that's what I'm going to do. I don't know how long it's going to be for. I will still be doing the pay-per-view wrestling stuff like that, but as far as video games, probably going to take a break just recording for right now. Maybe like a couple of weeks or something, or months, I don't know. But I do have some painting videos coming out pretty soon. Well, not pretty soon, but they are coming out. There's I think there's 3 of them, and I'm actually working on another one right now, so there could be 4. There's 2 of them are actually painted videos, and the 3rd one is like a collage or a montage, what's that word called? Oh my god, I can't think. Anyways, there's a collection of them coming out, and I don't know when they're gonna come out, but they're coming, so be on the lookout for that. And let's see, anything else that's going on? Oh, nope, that's it. I might be making a new intro video as well, because my first video I didn't know what I want to do, but now I kind of have the gist of what I want to do with the channel. So I'm going to make a different intro video for you guys, or at least not for you guys who already subscribed to me, but my new subscribers who want to subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, if you want to, you should. Like I said, I play mostly video games and talk shit. I don't do news or drama or anything else like that. Could, but I don't want you. It's just too complicated. what else? I feel like I'm missing something. I feel like every time I talk to you guys, and I'm like, I have this list and everything else, and then I'm like, oh crap, I didn't do like half the thing on my list because I'm just like going off my head. But yeah, so yeah, be on the lookout for the paintings. I might be doing some shorts. I might be playing some games and just putting them out there. It won't be like series like I normally do with you guys. It'll just be like, oh, this me messing around with GTA Online, or me messing around playing Destiny 2 or something like that, or whatever. So I may have a mic on, I may not have a mic on. But yeah, be on the lookout for that. Sheesh. What else? I think that's it. I think that's all. But anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching. As always, it's always a pleasure. I always thank you for taking the time to just watch me ramble and talk shit and blah 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 blah. But yeah, I'm gonna say goodnight, goodbye, afternoon, good morning, whenever you time watching this, and I will see you guys soon, hopefully. Bye! Hey, what's up, guys? Real quick, I just wanted to say thanks again to Semaj for drawing these great avatars. There's one in purple and one in yellow. I really like it. People really love it. If you guys want, if you don't know who Semaj is, he's a really good artist, and I will put his Twitter in the little thing below. But yeah, thanks so much.